Bulldog Stadium in LaPorte, the home of the LaPorte Bulldogs, and this is another big 21-5A matchup as we welcome you in to an LSM Football Friday. And good evening, everybody. I'm Lonnie King, and alongside Kim Moore, we are glad to be joined by you tonight. And Kim, we've got a big rivalry matchup here in the Houston area. A couple of little communities on the east side of town that like facing off against each other, but there's no love lost between these two teams.
Yes, sir. Small communities, but big time football out here at 21-5A. LaPorte and Deer Park going head-to-head tonight. First time that it's a district battle in a couple of seasons, as the teams were out of district the last 2 years, but back inside district play, and that's going to make it a little bit more special here tonight.
And both these teams have playoff aspirations. LaPorte coming off a big season last year where they took it deep into the playoffs. In fact, had a big upset win over the vaunted Katy Tigers in the playoffs last year. But both teams have a lot of players to replace from last year, and yet some of those guys have stepped up this season for them.
Yes, sir. Jonathan Lewis has been big for LaPorte this season. Connor Means, the quarterback for Deer Park, both of those players have been outstanding so far out here in 2012. Both of them going to face some good defenses here tonight, so we'll see which team will come out on top.
Saw a couple of other teams last week in the district, Port Arthur Memorial and North Shore, that are vying for that top spot. LaPorte still has aspirations. They're 2-0 in the district coming into this game tonight, and Deer Park just a half game behind with one loss. So the winner of this one still is going to be in the thick of the playoff race.
Yeah, it's going to go down to the wire in this district. It always does. A lot of teams competing for that top spot, all chasing North Shore at this point. So it's going to be tremendous to see which one of these ball clubs will get the edge here this evening, and a gorgeous evening for football, I might mention as well.
But on top of that, we've got all of the added flavor of the rivalry, as we told you. And our Chase Hernandez earlier in the week had a chance to visit with both the coaches from these teams about the importance of this rivalry for Deer Park and LaPorte.
Coming up this week on LSN Football Friday, we will deliver one of the best games matched up all season as the border battle takes place between the Deer Park Deer and the LaPorte Bulldogs. This game will take extra meaning this year as both teams will face off as district opponents for the first time since 2009. And for Deer Park head coach Chris Massey, he knows this game has some extra meaning to it once again.
Oh, sure it does. You know, when it's a district game, it means a lot more. When it's a non-district game, it still means a lot, but you know, bragging rights and all. But a district win over LaPorte is a big win.
Last year, LaPorte got the win at Bulldog Stadium in overtime as it sparked the Bulldogs to a District 21-5A championship and a berth in the regional final. And Jeff LaRoe knows what kind of implications this game may have on one of these two teams for the rest of their season.
Well, sometimes it can be a downfall, you know, leading into a playoff situation. You know, I've seen that happen before. Sometimes it can be a real boost for you to finish out the season. This year, I think the most important thing, it has district implications. So, you know, that's a big thing that hadn't been the last couple of years.
A rivalry is defined as a competition for the same object or superiority on the same playing field. And for Deer Park and LaPorte, this rivalry burns deep through both of these communities.
Well, they've been playing each other for a long time, for one. And, you got two communities that are really very similar, close proximity. A lot of the parents from these two communities know each other, work with each other. Kids from Deer Park and LaPorte have been playing each other in Little League sports, you know, youth league, junior high, so they know each other. It's just one of those great battles between two small communities that you know, gets a lot of attention.
When asked if this is one of the biggest rivals in the state of Texas, Coach LaRoe agrees it's just as big as any.
I think it's a pretty big rivalry, a long-lived rivalry in the state of Texas, and it'd probably be hard to find another one. You probably have to go back to some small schools that have been playing each other, you know, close communities forever. I think that would be the difference.
Coach Massey would agree and even add that you can compare this with the two other teams that wear maroon and orange in this state.
You know, it's kind of like A&M Texas was, you know, Florida, Georgia, you know, and talking about comparing it to college games. It's kind of like those kind of games. It's a big deal every year, and There's parents talk about it. I'm sure there's a few wagers made on it. By some of the dads around Deer Park, LaPorte area. So yeah, it's a big rival game. It's always an exciting game.
LaPorte's looking for their 27th all-time victory in this series, but the Deer are looking to dash any chances of a District 21 5A championship here from Bulldog Stadium. It's Deer Park, it's LaPorte, it's the 52nd annual Border Battle, and it comes here tonight from Bulldog Stadium on the LSN Football Friday.
Just about set for tonight's opening kickoff, and the Deer Park Deer in the road white uniforms, maroon helmets and maroon numbers and gold trim will kick it off to the home team, the LaPorte Bulldogs. They're in their orange jerseys, white pants, white helmets, and just about set to go in this one tonight. A big 21 5A matchup. LaPorte at 2-0, coming off a bye week, and they are trying to keep pace with North Shore, who won their 3rd district game last night over in Baytown and are now 3-0 in the district.
Well, I tell you what, Lonnie, we have an electric atmosphere as the opening kick is underway. 72 degrees, clear skies, no wind to be heard of here tonight.
Big lane right up the hash mark, and on the return is number 1 for LaPorte, and that's Vic Holmes, defensive back, who brings it out to the 29-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. And here's the offense, and that's actually the Deer Park offense. We'll see the LaPorte offense led by Jordan Jackson coming out to start this one, the junior quarterback who's done a great job for him this year.
Yeah, Jackson has been running this offensive show fluently here so far this season, undefeated so far in district play, as they will begin at 1st and 10 near the 30.
And they set up with an offset eye. Pitch back goes to Keith Whiteley. He's the workhorse eye back, they call him in this formation. And he brings it out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. A quick 6 on 1st down, and Whiteley will get a lot of work tonight.
Yeah, Whiteley on the season, 702 yards. He'll lead that offensive attack. Quarterback by Jordan Jackson. The other running back, Britt Grant. The wide receivers, Lewis and Mark, will get the offensive line after this play.
Single receiver out to either side. Tight end is tight to the left side of the formation. Whiteley will take the handoff on the sweep, and he runs it to the left side. Hit at the line of scrimmage, gets back to about the 35, but not much else is there as the Deer Park defense shut that play down.
Yeah, it's going to be a big 3rd down early on here for this Bulldog offense against this tough Deer defense. 3-man front for the Deer. We'll try to come up with the big 3rd down stop.
Just underway in this one tonight, and Jackson heads to the sideline, talks with his coaches, brings the play back into the huddle, and they break it and head to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down and 4. Need to get to the 39-yard line. Slide Whiteley out of the backfield. Now a pitch on the sweep, and this is going to be John Lewis, and Lewis is going to take it out near the 1st down marker, and he may have got it out around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Lewis on that familiar wing reverse takes the sweep around the right side, picks up the 1st down. Deer Park defense will start at the top with the secondary. Babb, Lopez, Herrera, Bajula. Linebackers, Brutafaris, Scruggs, Cardenas. Linebacker Vega up front. Williams, Guerra, and Geringer.
Chris Massey, the head coach here at Deer Park. This is the 52nd meeting between these two teams, neighboring communities. Handoff straight up the middle. Keith Whiteley on the carry. He gets about 3. Give him the 43-yard line, and we'll call it officially a 2-yard gain. Jackson is a junior. Whiteley is a senior. A lot of juniors on that offensive front, though, for this LaPorte team. They graduated a lot of seniors from last year's playoff team that beat Katy in an upset in the 3rd round of the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that was a shocker felt across the state of Texas when that score went across the ticker last season.
Jackson from the shotgun. Wants to throw, has a man in, broken up. Good job out on the edge by Vega, the outside linebacker, who got a hand on it. It was intended out there, looked like for Javi Mark.
Yeah, Vincent Vega, the senior linebacker, getting his big paw up to deflect that pass. And now another 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. And we have a capacity. This one is a sellout tonight at Bulldog Stadium. Two communities that they love each other from 8 to 5, but when it's 7 o'clock on Friday night, they don't care for each other too much.
There were no walk-up sales tonight. You're not going to find a ticket if you didn't have one. Here's a pass and miscommunication there between the quarterback and his receiver. And Brick Grant broke it up the field, and Jackson was throwing toward the sideline, and it's incomplete and brings up 4th down.
Yeah, excellent read there. Miscommunication, as you mentioned. Receiver turning it up. Quarterback thought he would break it out. So now, after 1 first down, LaPorte will have to punt it away.
Dropping back deep for the return for Deer Park is Bajula. Zach Bajula is a senior. Kicking it for the Bulldogs is Eric Medina, the senior kicker, and he gets a punt away that hits at the 20, bounds down, and will go out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Winds up being a great punt for LaPorte, and Deer Park will start their first possession in their own end of the field.
Yeah, 47 yards on that punt. They'll be led out by Connor Means, will Deer Park. In the backfield, Kano and Moran. Tight end, Swan. Wide receivers, Luna and Hickman. Up front, the big boys, Malone, Medlin, Ahmamed, Moon, and Lopez.
Connor Means, a junior, getting the start at quarterback, and he's done a solid job this year for head coach Chris Massey. Connor Means happens to be the son of the Deer Park head basketball coach, Louis Means. And Coach Means, in talking to the quarterback coach, Ron Counter, before this one, we'll finish the thought in a minute, but here's a quick pass out in the flat, and it is complete out there to Eric Luna. He makes the catch and carries it out near the 20, out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and that'll be a gain of about 9 yards.
Yeah, good job by Luna to scoop that one up as we look at the LaPorte defense. Holmes and Whiteley, the safeties, Hutchinson and Nelson, the cornerbacks, linebackers, Scott, Jones, Nelson, and Pickle up front. Guzman, Lee, and Albertson will anchor the 3-4 defense.
Means from the shotgun, single back in the backfield with him. And he wants to throw, swings it out, has a man, it's complete. Out on the edge, the pass is caught out there by number 7, Josh Rutherford, and he makes the catch and has a first down out near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, just a quick little hitch route out to the right. Good timing between the quarterback and Rutherford as he comes back to make the catch, breaks the tackle, finally brought down near the sideline by Jose Scott.
Rutherford averaging 20 yards per reception here on the season coming into this one tonight. Means will work from the pistol this time on 1st and 10 from the 30. Hands it off, and carrying it in between the tackles is Kano. Noah Kano, the senior, out across the 30 to about the 32. Give him a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and long.
Yeah, they're going up against a Bulldog defense that only gives up 281 yards per game. They do give up 135 on the ground. So Deer Park will try to take advantage of that. See if they can get some rushing yards, try to control the clock here in this ball game here tonight.
2nd and 8 from the shotgun. Means takes a snap, hands it to Kano. He takes it to the right side, stays in between the guard and tackle, and he is going to be stacked up. Nothing open in the middle of that line, stacked up nicely by the LaPorte defensive front.
Yeah, Kano, short gain that time on the season. He averages over 6.5 yards per carry. 791 yards on the ground for Kano so far this season, 11 touchdowns.
Finishing the thought about Connor Means and his dad, the head basketball coach at Deer Park, Louis Means. Coach Means is a great guy, and we've known him for a couple of years. But according to Ron Counter, the quarterback coach, former head coach at Strake Jesuit, who's now the quarterback coach here at Deer Park, he gets as excited as any fan about his son and this football team. And there's a completed pass and into LaPorte territory for another first down. That is Eric Luna on the reception.
This is a big-time throw by the quarterback. Means has all the time in the world in the pocket, and he threads the needle, and a great grab as a pair of Bulldogs crash into each other in the secondary, and then there's a big crash at the end of the play. It's like NASCAR out here at Bulldog Stadium tonight.
Nice job by Luna to get it after the catch into LaPorte territory. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And Deer Park will work from the pistol. Fake the handoff. Now they do give it to Kano. He takes it to the outside. He's going to try and turn the corner. It's strung out nicely, though, and he's going to be dropped. He gets a couple of yards down to about the 47.
Yeah, Kano possesses good speed, but great lateral pursuit that time by the LaPorte defense to force him to the edge. Minimal gain, 2nd down, 7.
From the Bulldog 46.
Still no score here in the first quarter. Clock is stopped on the out-of-bounds play. 6:59 to go in the opening period. Means from the pistol, looks over the defense. Motion from Luna, handed off to Kano. No, pulls it out, keeps it on the zone read, and Means will carry it inside the 40. He's down to about the 36-yard line, and that's going to be good enough for a first down.
Great job that time by Means. Sucks the defense in with the fake inside. And then you'll watch him pull it here as the defensive end crashes down. That leaves no containment to the outside, and Means able to pick up a nice gain near the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, Deer Park.
Deepest penetration of the night for either team. Deer Park on their first possession of the ball game. Here's a delay, a keeper by the quarterback. A little bit of a draw effect on that, but nothing opened up on the left side of the line. He'll get a yard down to about the 35. They may give him the 34, but it'll be 2nd and long again.
Yeah, good stop by senior defensive lineman Mark Guzman. He read that play from the beginning, and he's able to hold Means to a minimal gain just inside the 35, pickup of 1. This LaPorte defense trying to come up with a stop on their first defensive possession of the ball game.
Send 2 receivers out to the right side of the formation this time. Means looks that way as he takes the snap, wants to throw that side and almost picked off. Oh, that had a pick 6 written all over it, but unable to hang on for LaPorte. That was Garrett Green, and he almost had a touchdown in his arms.
Green read that play perfectly, steps right in front of the receiver. As you mentioned, Lonnie, that had 6 points written all over it as he had nothing but green and orange turf in front of him. Headed the other way.
And I think he may have peaked a little bit early, and that caused him to not hang on to that football. But it's a big 3rd down play now for Deer Park. Means pressure coming up the middle. He's flushed out of the pocket, has to throw, and throws it away. Out of bounds and incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. And they're kind of in that no man's land, Ken. You go for it here on 4th down?
I mean, it really depends on the depth of your kicker. I mean, you're looking at a 4th and 8. I would probably try to pin them deep. It's early in the game. I wouldn't want to give them good field position here, so I would go ahead and try to pooch it inside the 20, maybe inside the 10. They'll leave Means on the field. We'll see what the call is.
That doesn't necessarily mean they're going for it. He has been known to drop back in that quarterback quick kick, rugby punt style formation, and we'll see if that happens here. No, they will go, and a pass to Rutherford, makes a catch, slips a tackle, now he's down the sideline. 10-5 and bumped out of bounds just short of the goal line at the 3-yard line.
Well, a gutsy call by the Deer Park coaching staff. Again, just a quick 2-step hitch route, and Rutherford able to get 1 block, makes a man miss at the 30, and then it's a race to the pylon. Finally knocked out of bounds, in the secondary. Coming up to make the stop was Garrett Green, but a huge gain on 4th down, and the Deer are in scoring position early on in this one. 5:35 to go, first period.
And you're right, Rutherford made that play. He did not have first down yardage when he caught that pass.
No, he did not.
First and goal, though, now from the 3-yard line. Down near the 5.5-minute mark. Here's a handoff. Kano straight up the hash mark and down to about the 2. Give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, full house look that time by the Deer. We'll see if this LaPorte defense can bow up and make a goal line stand. As we mentioned, a lot of atmosphere here in the crowd tonight. A lot of pre-game jawing, some good time atmosphere between the fans.
2nd and goal, full house backfield again. Stacked to the right. They pitch it that way. Kano gets a block into the end zone. Touchdown, Deer Park.
Well, a great read by Kano on the toss sweep to the right. Had a couple of blockers out in front. And it's excitement on that Deer Park sideline as they strike first here at Bulldog Stadium.
Extra point attempt to come. On to kick it for Deer Park is Zane Gonzalez, and there's a flag on the extra point attempt before the snap or right at the snap. So you hear the call from our lead official tonight. That's Greg Maxwell. He is the referee. The umpire is Robert Rosales. Line judge is Greg DeLuca. Head linesman Jason Mannies, and Daniel Abbey is the back judge. Second attempt at the extra point, and it's blocked. And falling on it is the kicker as Gonzalez gets back and prevents LaPorte from picking it up and trying to return it for 2. Look at it again as they went for 2. Check it. This is the touchdown play. And Kano just followed his blocks into the end zone for the score.
And I think this was the extra point here is just a low snap.
Yeah. 6-0. LaPorte trails, but they're about to get the ball back.
This is not my home. There, I said it. They don't have pictures of my kids. They don't have my yoga mat. And still, I feel at home. Could it be the flat screen TV? The not so mini fridge? The different free dinner almost every weeknight? Or maybe it's all of the above and all the rest. Am I home? Nope, but it almost feels that way. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Be at home.
Deer Park takes the football 90 yards on their first possession of the ball game, and it ends up in a touchdown. Failed extra point attempt, but they've got a 6-0 lead as we come back to action, and the kickoff is returned on the run out to about the 14-yard line. Taken back by Britt Grant, the sophomore running back, who caught it on the run, and he's going to be given the 15-yard line. That's where LaPorte will start their second possession of the ball game.
Yeah, this Bulldog offense will come back onto the field, averaging nearly 400 yards per game, 282 on the ground, only 117 through the air. So they like to run it more than they throw it, and they'll try to get the running game untracked here on their second possession.
Keith Whiteley, the I-back, they call him in this formation. Grant is the J-back, and he will line up and go in motion. Give him the handoff on the wing-back sweep, and he takes it out across the 20 to about the 22. There are flags on the play, and we'll see. This one may be coming back.
Yeah, flag in the backfield near number 55, Justin King. We'll get the official call here in just a second.
So holding on the offense. That's good. Big first down.
There you'll see King.
He's the center.
Right there, the center. And he just kind of yanks down the nose guard. You can't do that.
Well, especially with the official standing right that close to you.
He's got a big man in front of him. Big Eric Williams goes 210. And that's before breakfast.
He's listed at 210. He may go a little bigger than that. Yeah. Here's Whiteley in between the tackles, and he slips through the line, gets into the second level before he's tripped up. And he will get some of that yardage back out to about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, I think that 210 may be a misprint. I'm 210, and he's way bigger than me. Yeah, that needs to be a curved numeral, not a straight one. About 280.
That's a program number right there.
You know, most programs, they, infatuate the numbers a little bit upward, usually not downward.
Exactly. Here's a handoff, quick hitter up the gut, and this is Lewis, I believe, on the carry.
Whiteley.
And no, it's Whiteley, 21, not 23, and he carries it out across the 30-yard line. Big gain, and he picks up a first down.
There, Whiteley, you see him going over that left side. A little spin move there. Runs out of one tackle, gets some nice blocks, gets near the 30-yard line on the first down for the Dogs.
They kind of go from that modified wing T formation in that package there, and now they'll line up with a two-back set, offset to the left side.
Wildcat formation.
Handoff, quick hitter up the middle. Whiteley again, not much there. They tried to go back and penetrate the middle of that line, but Deer Park says nothing doing this time. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, we'll talk about the importance of this ball game here tonight. LaPorte 2-0 in district play. Deer Park 2-1. LaPorte coming off a bye week last week, so Deer Park trying to stay in that race for a district championship.
Second down and 10 right at the 30-yard line. Shift the personnel, heavy to the left side, handed off to Grant. He carries it across the 30, bumped, stays on his feet, and he gets out to about the 34-yard line. And he is just a sophomore.
I was about to say just that. Grant on the season, and he has a good run per carry. Also 4.5 yards a carry, has a touchdown, 138 yards on the ground on 31 attempts. So now another big third down coming up, third down 6, 2 minutes to go here, first period. The visiting Deer on top, 6-zip, and their crowd on their feet on the far sideline for this big third down play.
Under center, Jackson sends motion to the right, handed off to the sweep man, that's Lewis, cuts it to the outside, has a block, turns it back, up the numbers across midfield and into LaPorte, or Deer Park territory with a big first down.
28 yards on the run by Lewis, and you'll see him just on the end around, gets a good kick out block.
Whiteley got a nice block.
Whiteley got a nice block as well. Nice cut across midfield. And he picks up 28 on the carry. Shoestring tackle. Good tackle downfield to save the touchdown by Kyle Lechese.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line. You saw a little extracurricular after the play, too. These two teams, as we said, there's no love lost on the football field between these two schools. Here's Whiteley, and he is hit in the backfield. There's Vega again. Got in there from the edge and wrapped him up for a loss back to the 39.
Well, Vega, he doesn't play like a Vega. He plays more like a Porsche. He gets through the backfield real quick, make that backfield tackle. It'll be a loss on the play of 1. So once again, LaPorte looking at a second down and long situation.
We rolled down under a minute to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 is our score. Deer Park has one possession under their belt, and they turned it into a touchdown. LaPorte trying to drive for a tying score. Here's the throw out in the flat. Whiteley makes the catch, slips the tackle inside the 40, out of bounds inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. That's going to be a 5-yard gain. It'll bring up third down and about 6.
And Whiteley made that play look easy, but that was a very difficult catch. The ball thrown behind him. As you look here, he's going upfield, has to spin completely around, make a 360, then dodge a defender. That's an excellent play by Whiteley, and he made it look so smooth.
They give him down to the 33, so it'll actually be 3rd and 5 as they come back to the line of scrimmage to set it up here. Single back is Whiteley. Make the handoff, slant route, and incomplete. Mark, the intended receiver that time, and he was hit right as the ball got there. Pretty good defense that time.
Yes, Zach Bajula playing separator on that play. Good throw. Receiver went up, but drilled right in the midsection. To separate him for the football was Bajula.
So we're going to get a field goal attempt, a 50-yard field goal attempt from the near hash mark.
He can make this.
This is Eric Medina, the senior kicker. Low snap, though. The kick is away, and it's going to be a couple of yards short.
Yeah, I think the timing on that play was messed up as the snap rolled back. So that made the kicker hesitate just a bit. So missed field goal attempt from deep. That'll give the Deer good field position. 21 seconds to go.
Something to tuck away in the memory banks, though, because as you said, he's got plenty of lag, and he's done a great job kicking for them this season. And that one didn't miss by much, maybe 3 or 4 yards with a bad snap. So if it comes down to it toward the end of this one, we'll keep that one tucked away. Here's a handoff to Kano on first down for Deer Park, and he carries it out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. 8 yards on first down, and that should wind down the clock to the end of the first quarter. And Deer Park will come away from the first quarter here at LaPorte with a 6-0 lead on the road in this big 21-5A rivalry game here on an LSN Football Friday.
Banking, but better. Shell Federal Credit Union. Perfect credit not required. Shell Federal Credit Union. No matter where you work or live in Harris County, you're welcome here with full service banking. More for you at Shell FCU. Banking, but better. Shell Federal Credit Union.
Through their first 7 games this year, Deer Park averaged 16 points per game in the first quarter, but they gave up 17.5 points per game. But tonight they shut out LaPorte in the first quarter, come up with a 6th spot of their own, and they've got the lead. And on the first play of the second quarter, Kano gets the handoff, and he's out to the 44-yard line, and that's good enough to move the change for a first down.
And this is a LaPorte team that puts up 38 points per game. And zip here so far in the first half.
They do seem to be a team, though, that takes maybe a couple of possessions to get going in a ball game, and then they get it wound up pretty good. We'll see if that holds true tonight. Here's a great play out on the edge, and there is Jose Scott. Big defensive stand down. He's just a junior, made a big splash for this team last year as a sophomore. And a great play there.
Yeah, and this is a team that plays the option very, very well. I was watching film of them earlier this year, and they actually took 2 options from the offense of another team back for touchdowns themselves. So this is a team that plays the option well. You want to make sure you're very secure with the football when you're in pitch mode against this Bulldog defense.
Means from the shotgun. 2nd down and 11. Wants to throw, swings it out, has a man, and that is Luna, makes the catch. Check it, that's Rutherford, not Luna. 7, not 8. And he's out near midfield, or check it across midfield into LaPorte territory, and that's another 1st down.
Yeah, and Means a good, strong throw on the season. He's completing 59% of his passes, over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. Big, strong quarterback.
There you see, we talked about Rutherford's receiving average on the season, averaging 20 yards a catch. That's going to come down a little bit with these receptions so far tonight, but they've been clutch catches. And here's a handoff, closed off up the middle as Kano is dropped behind the line of scrimmage back at the 45.
Yeah, Lane Albertson coming in to make the stop, along with Guzman.
2nd and 10 here from the Bulldog 45.
Deer Park comes into the game 5-1 on the season. Their only loss so far this year was to Clear Springs. That might not have been a surprise before the season started, but Clear Springs opened up the year with a couple of losses, and everybody expected Deer Park, or check it, LaPorte to win. Here's a pass down the middle. It is tipped and picked off. Tipped away, and there's a flag down. This one is going to be returned up the near side, and it's going to be brought back by John Nelson. We may have pass interference, though, that wipes this whole thing out.
Well, those are a couple of big hits on both sides of the play. Coming in, making a big hit on the quarterback was Alex Jones, and then you had Ellis Hutchinson playing defender downfield, knocking the ball away. And he may get called for pass interference. Let's check the penalty. Yeah, it's going to be a PI against Hutchinson. Thought he made a good play. Let's take a look at it. First, the pressure up the middle. Jones with a big hit on Means, and then downfield. They call it a pass interference penalty against Hutchinson. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a 1st down.
Well, we couldn't see the contact there on the replay. But what we did see was a great job by Hutchinson to tip that ball and keep it alive for Nelson.
Yeah, and live action looked like he made a pretty good play, but the officials a little bit closer than us as we're perched high atop Bulldog Stadium on the home sideline. So, nevertheless, 1st and 10 for the Deer. They lead at 6-zip, looking for more.
From the pistol, Means. Play fake, wants to throw, has time. Down the middle, two defenders on his intended receiver.
Yep.
And that's Luna.
That's another pass interference. That one was pretty clear. Victor Holmes never turned his head, pushed the receiver while he was in the end zone. That's a clear-cut pass interference, and it's going to be another 15 yards against the Bulldogs. You watch it here, just never turns around. And then he looks at the referee.
Did you see that?
That's a sheer sign of guilt.
You didn't see that, did you, ref?
Oh, man. Talk about getting your hands caught in the cookie jar. Wow.
Lyszewski was actually the intended receiver, number 6 instead of number 8 there. And here's the 2nd pass interference penalty stepped off against LaPorte on this drive. 30 yards in penalties now on this possession for Deer Park. So Means sends a receiver out to either side. He's going to hand it to Kano on the stretch play. Has a block, and now 2, and inside the 10 down to about the 6.
23, Kano on the carry.
Well, good call that time off tackle. Looks like LaPorte was coming with an inside blitz. Deer Park counters it with a counter run off tackle. Nice game by Kano. As you saw, Jose Scott going for the strip, coming up empty. 2nd down and 1 for the Deer.
Bringing it right back to the line of scrimmage here. 2nd and short. Lyszewski Wide to the left side. Here's an option play to that side. Means turns it up, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
Means keeps the ball for the 6-yard touchdown run.
Well, Means, his 6th touchdown of the season. They run the option to the weak side. You'll see him that time one-on-one, fakes the pitch, turns it up. The defender is helpless, doesn't know what to do. Means walks in untouched for another 6 for Deer Park.
Yeah, it looks like the man on the outside did his job. He did not allow the quarterback to go to the outside, but then that safety or middle linebacker should have been there to fill that gap and plug up that play. They didn't. Easy touchdown.
Extra point attempt. The snap is better this time, and the kick is true. And so our new score is 13-0 Deer Park on an LSN Football Friday.
Cool. I won again. Monopoly at McDonald's is awesome. 1 in 4 winners. Hard to beat those odds.
I can. I'm moving to San Diego.
Why?
It's the luckiest city in America. It's got the most sweepstakes winners and the fewest lightning strikes.
Doesn't matter where you are. Still 1 in 4.
Just the same, I think I prefer San Diego.
It's the 20th edition of Monopoly at McDonald's, and 1 in 4 wins. With over $300 million in cash and great prizes, it's the most prizes ever. The simple joy of winning.
Deer Park Deer coming into this game 4-3 on the season. Kim, we talked about it off mic before the game tonight, but they could actually be 6-1 coming into this game, and they're playing like this has some special meaning to them early in this ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. They lost a couple of close games early on, 4-3 on the season. But as you mentioned, a couple of plays here, a couple of plays there. They could be a one-loss team as well.
Here's the kick. Gonzalez gets it off. It's going to go out of bounds inside the 10. And so the option will lie with Laporte here. And now this offense has been stymied a little bit here in the first half. Shut down so far through the first 16 minutes almost. Well, we'll call it 15 and some change here in the first half.
Yeah, Deer Park has come out well. They put some good pressure up front. They haven't allowed the big plays, which has been huge so far in this ball game. You want to make Laporte go up and down the field, make them take it in small chunks instead of the big runs that we've been accustomed to seeing so far this season.
Greg Maxwell, our referee, gives us the call on the penalty, and Laporte takes the option of the football spotted at the 30-yard line. So that's where they'll have it to start this series, their third possession of the ball game. Here's a handoff on the sweep. It's Lewis, cuts it to the outside, has blockers in front. He's got the edge, and he's out of bounds near the 50 at the 49-yard line, and that's a first down.
Yeah, Lewis has been their all-purpose threat so far this season. 451 yards on the ground, another 151 receiving. He'll also play a little defensive back as well. You'll see him get a good block on that right side by 24. Grant, the sophomore, springs him for the 19-yard gain on a first down.
That's about the third or fourth time they've run that play, and it's been successful each time. Lewis, talked about him in the pregame tonight, has done a great job for this team so far this year. Shows motion, and they're going to give it to him going the other way, but a flag's going to stop it. Whistle it dead, and
Dead ball, off yardage, on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
5 yards back the other way. Well, they were thinking like I was. It worked well, so let's run it to the opposite side.
Yeah, I mean, don't be surprised to see them pull up and throw out of that little halfback pass as well. You may see that later in the game as a surprise if they catch the safeties cheating up.
This is where Laporte may look back and say they've hurt themselves in the first half. Penalty yards have been a bugaboo offensively and defensively here on the first few possessions of this ball game, and now they're stacked up 1st and 15 at their own 44. Jackson wants to throw down the middle of the field and overthrows his intended receiver. And that was Javi Mark looking for a flag. But pretty good coverage that time.
Well, there could have been a penalty flag there as the defensive back Lopez impeded the receiver as he was running a post route. You see him right in front and just kind of slowed up and let the receiver run into him. So the officials could have thrown a flag there. They chose not to. It'll be 2nd down, 15.
So another down and distance situation that is long yardage for LaPorte. They're going to set Whiteley offset to the right, handed on the sweep to Lewis, and he turns it up at midfield. He's going to be tripped up and falls forward to the 49-yard line. That'll be about a 6-yard gain, and it'll bring up 3rd, and we'll call it 8.
Well, now they make the 3rd down a little more manageable as he picks up 7 on that carry, picks up about half of the yardage. So now Jordan Jackson looking at a big 3rd down here for his offense as he tries to keep the chains moving.
Need to get it down to the 41-yard line of Deer Park. Hand it off. Lewis going to sweep it to the near side this time, and Deer Park's ready for it, and they drop him for a loss in the backfield. Geringer back there, the first man, and he got some help from a couple of his friends.
Yes, well, Bajula was there as well as they come to the sweep to the right, and as you see, 22 beats the block as well, forces him to turn it upfield. That was Vega, so he was the first disruptor of the play, and a host of Deer there to bring him down. So it's going to be another punting situation for LaPorte as they are really struggling here offensively in the first half.
Well, again, don't want to beat that horse to death, but the penalty set him back with 1st and 15, and that's just a tough distance to make up. A high snap, but we've got a whistle. And LaPorte's going to back up 5 more yards.
Not sure what you attribute this to tonight. You got a team playing at home, better record. Maybe they're a little too amped up for this ball game. They're making a lot of mistakes in this first half for the Bulldogs. Another high snap.
But he gets the kick away. Wobbly end over end kick. Fair catch signaled for at the 21-yard line, and that is where the Deer Park Deer will set up shop at their own 21, 1st and 10.
That was a great job just to get that punt off. 36 yards on the punt. Good hang time, 0 on the return. So 13 zip here, first half, 6:46 to go, 2nd period. It's been all Deer Park so far in this one.
Looking real quick at some of the penalty yards. Both these teams average up around 60 penalty yards per game, so they're no strangers to the yellow flags.
That's never good.
Means out for Deer Park. 3rd possession. They've scored on their first 2. Here's a handoff. Kano.
With the carry for the Deer.
And he will get it out to the 23-yard line, give him a couple of yards on the carry. 2nd down and 8 to come.
On the play brings up 2nd down and 8 for the Deer.
And Deer Park on the season, they average about 388 yards per game, 222 on the ground, 166 through the air. So a pretty balanced attack.
Kano cuts it to the outside this time, looks to turn the corner. Flag comes in behind the play, and this one's going to come back. Kano got it out across the 25 to about the 28. He picked up about 5 on the carry, but there's going to be a holding pin or no, a face mask.
Yeah, they caught big number 71, Nolan Sampson. He was having a little fist fight with one of the defenders. You see it right there to the middle portion of your screen. It looks like both of them had a handful of face masks. But Sampson got called for it. Going to cost his team some yardage, 15 big ones all the way back inside the 15-yard line.
So back him up to the, we'll call it the 14-yard line.
And as you mentioned, Lonnie, both of these teams playing with some uncaged aggression as they pick up a lot of penalties here.
And then there's a little smack talk being run, and there's a pass intended for Luna. Couldn't catch up to it, and he was headed toward the sideline, and it's incomplete, brings up third down.
Yeah, Means this time rolling to his left, throwing back across his body, overthrows his receiver, but you see the arm strength of Means, even throwing across his body, throws it over the head of his receiver.
Interesting to note that the way most of these plays are set up, they're leaving tight ends in as an extra blocker here. A lot of these have been just 1 or 2 receiver routes. Here is pressure up the middle, and Means runs for his life. He's going to get out of the initial wave, but he's going to be wrapped up after a short gain out to about the 17.
Well, a good stop that time by the Bulldog defense as they get off the field. Give their offense another opportunity as we go just under 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. And they should get good field position out of this exchange. Back deep to receive the kick is Whiteley, the senior.
Low snap, not much pressure. Short kick, though. Whiteley comes up. He's going to take it right at midfield, runs it to the right. Still on his feet inside the 40 and down at the 34-yard line. Great field position on this possession for the LaPorte Bulldogs.
This is a huge opportunity for LaPorte. They have to come away with points here. Great field position. 5 minutes to go before halftime. This is where their offense has to make some hay.
First and 10 Bulldogs from the Deer Park 35.
Whiteley with a nice return up the middle over the right side, and now Jordan Jackson will lead this offense back onto the field.
Knee hit at the 35, so that's where they set him up. First and 10 from that spot. Jackson under center. Offset Whiteley to the left. Now give it back to him on the counter. He goes back to the right side, and he will get down near the 30 to the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play.
It looked like Whiteley had a big hole inside. If he would have kept it inside, looked like he would have had some big yardage to gain. He cuts it outside, only picks up 4. It'll be second down 6.
Clock rolls. We're down to 4.5 minutes to go till halftime. Almost some movement. There was motion in the backfield. Here is Grant, who gets the carry. The sophomore is going to be wrapped up for no gain, but Whiteley leaned just a little bit before the snap.
And those are the things that's been holding back this LaPorte offense so far here in this first half. Just a little penalties. We've seen a delay of game, a false start, now a motion penalty. Those 5 yards start to add up after a while. Now it looks like quarterback Jackson on the sideline.
Caleb Martin's going to come and check it. That is Victor Holmes that comes in. We'll see if he's going to take the snap. It looks like he will.
We'll see if there's some trickeration maybe in order here. Victor Holmes at quarterback. Let's see what LaPorte has up there. Any rabbits up their hat.
He's going to tuck it under and run right side. Tripped up and the ball comes loose. They're going to say he was down at the 30, though. The official quickly signaling the ball was dead. Give him about 7 on that carry, down to the 30.
Watch this hold by Holmes as he follows his pulling guard. He just trips over his guard, number 68, Tony Barones. If he doesn't trip over Barones, he has a lot of open field on that right side. So another just little mistake by LaPorte. They are just a little bit off here tonight.
Now Jackson comes back out. He's going to line up out at a receiver spot this time. Whiteley's going to work from the Wildcat, and he will take it and run straight up the hash marks, and he's inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. There's a flag on the play.
Again, another good call. Whiteley with a big gain, 15 yards, would be a first down. But let's check the penalty.
Flag on the play.
Wow. My goodness.
They didn't stop the play. I think on this, it's going to be a legal formation of some kind. Maybe they didn't have 7 guys up at the line of scrimmage, but a great carry, as you said, by Whiteley, and another big play wiped out by penalties.
Now this will back it up to the 35. And that may have been Jordan Jackson lining up in the neutral zone. Not knowing where to line up. A lot of times and he's going right back to that right side, the officials will tell him if they're okay. So same formation.
Whiteley this time going to hand it to Lewis. He's going to take it on the jet sweep. Left side, tries to find a block, turns the corner inside the 25, and he's going to have a first down.
As you mentioned, same formation, but this time they give it to Lewis, and he's going to get a good block over here on the near side by Grant. Once again, the sophomore. A good, strong run by Lewis, puts his head down, picks up the first down.
At the 23-yard line. Laporte trying to put something on the board before halftime here, down near the 3-minute mark. Whiteley from the Wildcat again, and he will keep it himself, gets a couple of yards down to about the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 8 to come.
Yeah, he got stacked up on the left side of that defensive front. As that 3-4 defense of Deer Park closes the gap that time. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10, or actually a short gain. They'll give him 2, 2nd down 8.
I guess we should be calling this the Wild Dog instead of the Wildcat. The Bulldogs marching it up the field. Now Jackson's going to line up under center this time. Wing back motion from Grant. Roll out, and a receiver makes the catch. It's Lewis in the end zone for the touchdown.
Here comes a late flag. Let's see if it's post-possession. It's going to be against 68 of Laporte. It's going to be Tony Browns. Let's check it. I mean, that was an excellent play fake. They set that play up perfectly. Wide open receiver for the score. Now let's check the penalty.
Well, the Laporte coaches aren't happy, so that tells you something about the call, I think.
Touchdown will count. It's post-possession, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. As we'll watch the play fake here, they fake the pitch, and then the receiver just breaks out into the open field. Wide open touchdown for Lewis. Didn't get a camera on what happened in the backfield, but nevertheless, a much-needed score for Laporte. 13-6 with the extra point to come.
That's big for Laporte. They're right back in this ball game after struggling for much of this first half. So this touchdown has brought them back to within 7. High snap on the extra point. And now Whiteley's going to have to improvise, wants to throw, and he has a receiver and almost caught for the conversion, but dropped in the end zone by Trevor Nelson.
Terrible snap that time, but a good job by Whiteley just to try to make something out of nothing. Just throws it up for grabs and nearly caught in the end zone for 2.
13-6.
Thing people say after trying Raising Cane's premium, fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers, served with extra long crinkle-cut fries, made fresh daily cane sauce, and grilled Texas toast? They say, where have you been all my life? To which our chicken fingers don't reply because, well, chicken fingers can't talk. Raising Cane's. One love.
The LaPorte Bulldogs have just scored for the first time in this game with 2:19 to go in the first half. Now, remember, there was a penalty on the touchdown play, an unsportsmanlike conduct call on Tony Briones for the Bulldogs, and so that penalty is stepped off, and they will kick off from their own 25-yard line. So still a couple of minutes left for Deer Park, and they should get pretty good field position out of this, Kim Moore.
Yeah, and both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining, so we'll see if that penalty comes back to bite the Dogs.
Good kick. And it comes down at the 40 in a lane out across midfield. That is Rutherford on the return, and he will get it down to about the 39-yard line, but we've got a flag away from the play, and let's see what this call is going to be.
Well, the officials definitely trying not to let this game get away from them. And if there's an infraction, they're going to call it. The official's so used to calling it against the Orange, he pointed the wrong way. You know, those muscle instincts take over after a while, you know. Nice return this time by Rutherford.
Good block there by number 18, Jacob Hickman, who sprung him for good yardage. Tackle made at the 40-yard line that time by Jesse Hickman.
On that last drive, Jordan Jackson with the touchdown to Jonathan Lewis for Jackson, his 13th touchdown pass of the season. For Lewis, his 4th touchdown receiving.
Option play to the left side. Means is going to keep it. Takes it out to midfield. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. So give him 5 on the carry. And it'll bring up 2nd and 5. Clock rolls under 2 minutes to go in the first half now.
Yeah, plenty of time for Deer Park. No need to hurry at this point. They still have 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
Deer Park out of the huddle, sends a receiver out to either side now. They show motion from Rutherford back to the near sideline. Hand it to Kano. He looks for a hole on the left side, but he is going to be stacked up. They'll give him the 50-yard line. That might have been a generous spot, but it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, good stick that time by Trevor Nelson, the junior linebacker, coming up to make the play. So now, as we approach 1 minute, looks like Deer Park playing it pretty conservative. It'll be 3rd down 5. If they don't make the first down, they don't want to give LaPorte another opportunity. If they do pick up the ground to gain here, you probably will see them take a timeout.
Back to the line they come from the pistol formation. Means with Kano in behind him. Wants to throw, looks to his right, has a receiver. Luna overthrows him, made him stretch out, and he couldn't reel it in. And it's incomplete. Right there on the coverage was Hutchinson. And it'll bring up 4th down.
It means just a bit high on the throw. Again, this pass going all the way cross field from the left hash all the way to the right sideline. He puts some mustard on it, too high for Luna. And now the Deer will have to punt it away. Whiteley standing back near his 15-yard line, 42 seconds to go for the Bulldogs. If they get a good return, they still have 3 timeouts remaining.
Play clock down to 5 before the snap is away, and a wobbly spiral kick. Whiteley's going to take it at his 8, slips a tackle, still on his feet, bringing it back to his left, still on his feet, turns a corner, has a lane across the 30, 40, and 1 man to beat, 30, 20,
that's
15,
that's
10,
a clip.
And there is.
Are you kidding me? That was, go ahead. I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. I'm sitting here, watch this return by Whiteley. a juke move there like Reggie Bush. And then he'll switch hands like any ball carrier would. A great move there. Good block by 32. Slips another tackle. Great block there. And now he's off to the races. He has one man to beat. That man is not gonna get him.
And you see the call from Greg Maxwell as we cut away there. Like you said, he was not going to be caught. Whiteley did not need that block.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. And he chopped the defender low. So that's even worse. So instead of a touchdown, you're back at the 35-yard line. You still have 3 timeouts, but maximum you have 3 plays to try to get it into the end zone. You do have a great field goal kicker, so maybe you survive with 3 out of this.
Well, they were on the verge of going in tied up at halftime potentially, but now they'll have to work a little bit. Here's Jose Scott, lines up in the backfield. He wants to throw down the far sideline, and it's almost picked off.
And there's a flag in the end zone. That could go either way.
Lopez knocked the ball away for Deer Park. We'll see what the call is going to be, and it's going to go against the Deer.
That'll be 15 yards, so that'll take it to the 20. But we mentioned earlier, beware of the halfback pass. Scott winds up and lets it fly. I didn't see any pass interference there. That was just good coverage downfield.
Wow.
I think the officials have gotten flag happy.
They may know the reputation of these two teams.
So now we have 8 seconds. This will have to be a quick strike to the end zone. Otherwise, LaPorte runs the risk of running out of time.
Jackson from the shotgun. 2-step drop, throws near sideline, has a receiver, caught, touchdown. And that is Jose Scott, who came in on offense for this series, and he makes the touchdown catch.
Well, as we mentioned, it had to be quick, just a little fade route. And Jackson, Scott, one-on-one in the end zone, just out-leaps the defender, brings it down for 6. So LaPorte escapes near disaster, and now they're an extra point away from tying this game up with 3 seconds to go before halftime.
Eric Medina out to attempt the extra point. Whiteley is the holder. The last snap was bad. This one's pretty good, and the kick is up, and it is good. And we've got 3 seconds till halftime, and we're all knotted up. So this is exactly what you expect from a rivalry game between LaPorte and Deer Park. Looked early like Deer Park might come in here and try to run away with it in the first quarter, but LaPorte has come back. And unless we've got another spectacular play in us, Ken, we're going to go in at halftime all knotted up.
You talk about some fireworks here at the end of the first half. I mean, we've had a virtual 4th of July display. We've had flags, fireworks. All we're missing is the marching band, and we'll see them in about 5 or 10 minutes. So it's been a tremendous first half out here at Bulldog Stadium. LaPorte had a kickoff return that went the distance, called back, but the offense responds. 30-yard touchdown reception, or 35-yard touchdown reception by Scott. Actually, it was 20, wasn't it? 20 yard, yeah. After the 15-yard penalty.
Correct.
So Jose Scott with the 20-yard grab, extra point to tie it up. That's a little squib kick.
And it is
recovered by LaPorte, but the clock's going to expire.
Yeah, it's going to be a moot point. Now the coaches on the LaPorte sideline are saying there should be a second left on the clock. But the officials are going to say that is the end of the first half. So we go to the locker rooms. Not enough. 13-13 is our score on an LSN Football Friday.
Nestled in the comfort of the Texas Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove why the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas. Uniquely you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now in the field for your halftime entertainment, it's the national award-winning 2012-2013 Deer Park High School Deer Escorts. The Deer Escort dance officers are Lieutenant Allison Stenberg, Lieutenant Reagan Davis, Lieutenant Madeline Menard, Lieutenant Emily Nassif, Lieutenant Ashley Whiteman, Major Taylor West, and Colonel Kristen Ramirez. Officers are Recording Secretary Sarah Mosqueda, Historian Haley Johnson, Secretary Madison Davis, Second Vice President Katie Newman, First Vice President Michaela Duncan, and President Caitlin Prado. Our Spirit Girl of the Week is Ashley Whiteman, and the Deer Escort of the Week is Peyton Carnegie. The Deer Escorts are under the direction of Mrs. Sarah Hance, Mrs. Laurie Bourne, and Mrs. Sandra Schaff. Tonight's performance is in honor of the 2012 Lady Deer softball state champion team. Congratulations and battle up as we enjoy our rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. season, Deer Park High School Deer Escorts. Now presenting the 2012 Deer Park High School Marching Band. Based on the field direction of drum majors, Marlo Lamb, Jay Park, and Laura Patino. Band awards this week are Director's Award, Britt Montrose. Section of the week is the Clarinets. Saturday, the Deer Park High School Band will be performing a UIL Region Marching Contest. They will perform at 4:15 at the Galena Park ISD Stadium. Tonight for your halftime entertainment, the Deer Park Band performs music from Mackey's Aurora Awakes, Debussy's Engulf Cathedral, and Mackey's Kingfishers Catch Fire from the 2012 show Awakenings. County Marching Balloon is the Deer Park High School Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Gary Hebert, Gene Cupiani, and Paul Parkin, assisted by color guard instructors Randy Ball and Samantha Contreras. Percussion instructor Joe Bean. Junior high directors are Cindy Hebert, Jeff Murphy, Dale Dempsey, Dan Pendergrass, David Dobson, and Jordan Goldman. Fine Arts Program Director is Barry Talley. High school principals are Dr. Rhonda Kuba, Tony Salazar, and Clyde Starkey. Superintendent of schools is Dr. Arnold Adair. Hope you've enjoyed the halftime entertainment. Let's go, dear. Let's get some dog meat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the National Award-winning LaPorte High School Chotto Dance Team. Tonight, for your halftime entertainment, the Chottos proudly present a character jazz and pop routine to the theme song from the Austin Power movie, Soul Bossa Nova. Chotto executive officers are Junior, Jack Delano Munoz, Junior, Satora Shonfin, Junior, Peyton Shiprosh, and Senior, Taylor Wilson. Head executive is Senior Desiree Duval. The Chotto dance officers are Junior Lieutenant Lindsey West and Senior Lieutenant Elisa Stamps. And the Chotto captains are Senior Noelle Barbe and Senior Heather Salazar. Superior Girl of the Week is Miss Paige Governick. Title Dancer of the Week is Miss Alicia Smith. Title Security Officers are Avery Blanchard, Henry Blanchard, Jonathan Blanchard, Jose Torres, Travis White, and C.J. Williams. And your head security officer is Austin Graham, who is assisted by Darren Hitler. Special choreography tonight is by Mr. Todd Shopping. Shadows are under the direction of Miss Peggy Trickledurper. And hey Peggy, thanks for our socks. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the LaPorte High School Mighty Bulldog Marching Band. Directors are Kevin Poe, Kevin Ford, and Steve Ferenzi. Our director is Emma Muller. The principal of LaPorte High School is Todd Shoppy, and our superintendent is Lloyd Graham. Director of Fine Arts is Matt Burke. Drum majors are Mariella Laurel and Joshua Thomas. Guard officers are Ranchelle Kodra and Kimberly Kimball. The Bulldog Band takes you back to Rock Out Old School tonight with their presentation of House of the Rising Sun. We're Not Gonna Take It Anymore and Proud Mary. Trumpet soloist is Luke Robeson. Bulldog fans, get ready to rock. Band members of the week are Jose Correa and Austin Dill. Guard member of the week is Natalie Holmes, and we'll be performing tomorrow at Galena Park Stadium at 4 o'clock for UIL.
13-13. This is how we got here. Deer Park scored first. Kano with a 3-yard touchdown run. Extra point. Missed snap. No good. 6-zip. 4:51 to go in the first. Then second quarter. Means on the quarterback keeper. In for 6. Extra point was good. 13-zip. But LaPorte comes back. Jackson up top to Lewis. That made it 13-6. Then watch this kickoff return. Great return. Good moves here. LaPorte trying to score just before halftime. Looks like they're going to do it, but there's going to be a penalty at the end of the play right there, a clip. That's going to bring the touchdown back, but Jackson would go up top with 3 seconds to go. Jose Scott with the touchdown. Extra point is good. That's where we are at the break. 13-13 in this 21-5A showdown. Back here with Lonnie King. Lonnie, a great first half. A lot of excitement. A lot of penalties on both sides by both ball clubs. This should be a tremendous second half.
Yeah, and especially if you're LaPorte, I think to come in or to come out here onto the field with the second half kickoff about to take place here, tied up at 13 after you did commit, frankly, some bonehead penalties in that first half. I think they've got to feel pretty good about this.
Yeah, if you're Deer Park, you definitely have to be shaking your head to find yourself in a tie ball game. They really dominated really the first quarter and a half of this ball game. And as you mentioned, LaPorte with a lot of personal fouls, a lot of big penalties, and a lot of 5-yard false starts, illegal motion, delay of games. So they have to be happy to find themselves in a tie ball game here at the break.
Well, LaPorte's going to kick it off to start the second half. Eric Medina, who attempted a 50-yard field goal in the first half, came up just a couple of yards shy, had a bad snap on the attempt and got a little bit under it. Needed 50 yards, came up with about 47. But tuck that away in your memory banks. This is going to be a close game down to the wire, and it may come down to a field goal at the end.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, a field goal, there's been quite a temperature change since the beginning of the ball game. The much-awaited cool front has finally come through. We were around 72 degrees at kickoff. Right now to kick off this second half, we're at 62 degrees, and we have a little bit of a breeze out of the south-southeast, whipping up at about 5 to 7 miles per hour. We should be down in the 50s probably by the time this ball game ends tonight.
Kickoff goes a couple of yards deep, and it's going to be brought out by number 18, Jacob Hickman, and he returns it out across the 10 to the 13-yard line. Good coverage that time. Take a look at Connor Means on the season. He has been a big producer for him on offense as a junior.
Yeah, over 1,000 yards through the air, nearly 300 on the ground, completing nearly 60% of his passes. He's a big, strong kid. We've seen him make a lot of big-time throws here in the first half. Now he'll have the challenge of throwing into this whipping wind that has finally come through the stadium.
And it has picked up. The wind is blowing, as Ken said, out of the south. And that is into the face of Deer Park as they start this possession. Here's Means on the keeper, takes it to the outside, gets the corner, and he gets out across the 20, 25, and out to the 27-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down on the first play of the second half.
Yeah, good fake by Means. Faked out the LaPorte defense as well as the camera crew. As he makes a good gain here on first down, they'll move the chains, 1st and 10.
Deer Park at one time led 13-0. They scored the first 2 touchdowns of the first half. LaPorte answered with the last 2. Deer Park scored on their first 2 possessions of the game. We'll see if they can equal that here to start the second half. Means wants to throw, has a receiver, and overthrows his intended man down the sideline, and that was Lyszewski.
Yeah, he had him one-on-one on the far sideline. He beat his defender. Pass just a little overthrown.
From their own 27.
Brings up second down and 10 at the 27-yard line. LaPorte from their 3-4 defense. Waits on the Deer, who send out a receiver to either side. Stretch play to the left. Kano gets the handoff, and he goes out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That'll be about a 4-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 6.
Kano, who had the first touchdown of the ball game, picks up a nice gain there on 2nd down. So to bring up a 3rd down, 6. As they'll try to keep the ball rolling. Kano on the season, 791 yards, 11 touchdowns. Now 12 after tonight.
And already easily up over the 800-yard mark rushing here in the first half. Pistol formation, offset to the right. Means has time, now flushed out of the pocket. Can't find a receiver, it's picked off. Intercepted by Hutchinson, and it's going to be a turnover that gives LaPorte great field position.
Well, Hutchinson making up for a pass interference penalty he had early on in the ball game. Good protection this time by Means, but great coverage in the secondary. He finally rose to his right, tries to drill it through the defender, but nothing going there. Good interception for LaPorte. They'll have great field position at the Deer 39-yard line.
Jordan Jackson brings his team out to the line of scrimmage, a chance to take the lead. He's tripped up. I think he got stepped on by his center. Justin King is down on the ground as well, and they are in a heap, and that's going to wind up a couple of yard loss back out to the 41. Jordan Jackson, the junior quarterback, 12 touchdowns he's accounted for on the season. 56% completion rating. Now from the Wildcat, the Wild Dog formation, here is Vic Holmes, and he tries to take it to the outside, and he is going to be wrapped up and dropped back at midfield. That's going to be a 9-yard loss on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 21.
Well, they had some success with that play near the end of the first half. They come out with it to begin the second half, and Deer Park made a major adjustment, obviously, and they drop him for a huge loss all the way back to midfield.
John Lopez, number 4 for Deer Park, stuck with him. Took him a little while, but he finally wrestled him to the ground back at the 50. So here's a big 3rd down play on the first possession of the second half for LaPorte. And again, it's Holmes from the Wild Dog. He runs it to the left, has a blocker in front, turns the corner inside the 45, down at the 43. Got about 7 on the carry, maybe 8, but it's going to be well short of first down yardage.
Andy Brand makes the stop for the Deer.
Looks like some conversation over here on the near sideline. But they'll go ahead and send out the punting unit. So the Wild Dog formation not as successful here on the first drive as it was in the first half.
Well, I think this is a good move by Coach LaRoe. You can't afford to give up the football here.
Oh, another high snap.
And Medina brings it down. It's going to be a good kick. It's going to bound at the 3 and roll into the end zone. And Deer Park gets a break. They'll have it 1st and 10. When we come back, 13-13 tie here in the 3rd quarter.
Busy in here.
Yeah. Progressive Mobile is really catching on. People can do it all. Get a close, buy, and manage their policies. It's great.
Well, what's with the music? Dude, getting a car insurance quote, I'll let it go to voicemail. Staying on vibrate.
It'll pass.
Our giant store on your little phone. That's Progressive Mobile.
Back at LaPorte Bulldogs Stadium, quick turnaround after the punt, and Kano on first down carries it out from the 20 to the 25-yard line. He gets 5 yards on first down, and Deer Park is in business again here as we roll down toward the 8-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 5. They send single receiver out to either side. Tight end is tight to the left side. Here's a stretch play. Getting the corner is Kano. He's going to be wrapped up and ridden out of bounds out at about the 33-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a first down. Jose Scott on the tackle.
Yeah, again, just a little stretch play. This time coming to the right side. You see Kano fight off the block, and then he rides the running back out of bounds for the tackle. So it's going to be enough for the first down. The chains will move. Clock will continue to roll in just a moment as they crank it back up at the 8:03 mark of the second half.
Means waits, pistol formation, option play to the left. Pitch this time. Kano gets a block out on the edge, and he's out across the 40. Going to rule him out of bounds at, let's see where they spot it. They're going to call it the 44-yard line. That should be enough for another first down.
Yeah, another good option read this time by Means. He makes the defender commit to him. Pitches at the last moment to Kano. He got a good block on the outside from Jacob Hickman that allows him to pick up an extra 5 yards and another first down for the Deer.
You saw number 20 in orange there, Jose Scott. He came from the opposite outside linebacker spot and chased him down all the way on the other side of the field. But it's a first down for Deer Park. Luna shows motion, handed off. Kano up the middle. Bounces away from the first hit, but he's met right around the 45-yard line.
Their first man there was 63, Corey Lee, the nose guard.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Stops it for a short gain.
Now the officials you see down there at the right corner of your screen talking to Rutherford, number 7 from Deer Park, and Ellis Hutchinson, number 2 from LaPorte. They were in man-to-man action down on the field and got tangled up a little bit, so the officials want to make sure nothing develops there. Here's a big second down play. Means to throw across the middle. Has a man separated from the ball and unable to hold on was Eric Luna. It's incomplete, but he had him.
Boy, Eric Luna does not drop balls like that, and that's number 2 or 3 just tonight. So I think something's probably wrong with him. Although he has that great coverage on him, but he just flat out does not usually miss balls like that.
Jay Darnell down below on the sideline. And as you mentioned, Means going through his progressions very well on that last play. He looked to the left. There was not a receiver open. Came back to Luna wide open. And as Jay mentioned, just dropped the football.
Wants to throw on third down. Almost wrapped up. Slips away. Wants to throw down the field. Has a man complete. It is Hickman making the catch. Jacob Hickman is out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and that's a big first down.
Well, you'll see Scott come on the blitz as he gets past the tailback. Means ducks underneath him, uses his mobility, then the wherewithal to make the throw downfield to Hickman, and he picks up a big gainer down to the LaPorte 27-yard line and a first down. The Deer on the move once again.
1st and 10 at the 27. Here's a stretch. Kano takes it, has a corner and a block, gets down inside the 20, out of bounds at the 16-yard line, 11 yards and another first down.
That stretch play is really working well here in this second half. You'll see Nolan Sampson, the big offensive, the senior lineman, with a good kick-out block on the outside. That'll free Kano to get to the edge, pick up another big gainer, 11 yards and a first down.
At the LaPorte 16.
This Bulldog defense now, Arnell Hills, they're going to have to make some adjustments themselves to try to stop these outside runs of Deer Park.
Rutherford motion back toward the line of scrimmage. Inside handoff. Kano takes it inside the 15 to about the 13. And that's going to be about a 3-yard gain.
He goes right up the butt of Blaine Medlin, the pulling guard on that play. So another nice run on first down. It'll be 2nd and 7.
First drive into the red zone for either team here in the second half. We're all tied up Deer Park trying to forge back out in front here as we roll down to the midway point in the third quarter. But before the snap, we're going to have a whistle. And Chris Massey, the head coach of Deer Park, wants a timeout. 13-13, third quarter on an LSN Football Friday.
Was captured at a local grocery store. This man just took money from his bank that wasn't in his account. Did you catch it? Let's see that again. There, he just got 10 cents back for every $10 or more purchase on his debit card with cashback counts checking from Community Bank. Imagine a bank that actually pays you to use your debit card. Swipe all you can from your bank. Community Bank of Texas. Bank where you live.
Deer Park and LaPorte have traded possessions here in the third quarter. LaPorte came up with a big interception to end the first drive for Deer Park out of the half. But they could not move the football, and so Deer Park now on their second possession has moved the ball down inside the 15-yard line. They've got a 2nd down and 7 from the 13-yard line. Just over 6 minutes to go in the third. Motion play, handed off straight up the middle. Kano. They tried a little misdirection with the motion, and Kano tried to hit the hole, but it closed up quickly, and he gets no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Trevor Nelson with some good penetration that time, got into the backfield, stops it for no gain. So a big play here for the Bulldog defense as they try to force Deer Park into a 4th down situation and a decision. Right now it's 3rd and 7 inside the 15.
They'll send a receiver out either side. Ball squarely in between the hash marks right in the middle of the field. Rutherford motion back toward the line. Means under pressure. Throws to the corner of the end zone. Rutherford, the intended receiver. Double coverage. Good coverage by LaPorte. And the pass is incomplete.
Pass intended for number 7, Rutherford is
double coverage in the end zone on Rutherford. The inside rush coming from Scott once again. So now to force a field goal attempt for the Deer.
Zane Gonzalez will come out to attempt a 30-yard field goal. Squarely in the middle of the field, straight on here, but the wind in his face. We'll see what kind of effect it has. Good snap. The ball is down. The kick is on its way, and it is good. And he had a little extra on it as well. And so from 30 yards away, Zane Gonzalez connects, and he gives Deer Park the lead, 16-13 with 5:16 to go here in the third quarter of play. So the Deer trying to keep pace in the District 21 5A standings with LaPorte and North Shore and Port Arthur Memorial.
It's a tight district race up here in 21 5A. North Shore 2-0, LaPorte 2-0 as well. Deer Park and Port Arthur Memorial each 2-1. So this is a huge ball game for the Deer tonight to stay in the district race. Gonzalez with that 30-yard field goal puts them up by 3, 5:16 to go here, third period. We'll see if LaPorte can respond.
Well, it's a little bit of a victory for LaPorte in that they kept Deer Park out of the end zone after they had set up in the red zone and had a look like a golden opportunity to drive it in for a touchdown. The drive bogged down, and they settle for a field goal. They've got a 3-point lead now, 16-13. And here's Gonzalez, gets a toe into it, and a good kick's going to go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. Come out to the 25 for the LaPorte Bulldogs. Let's take a look at those 21 5A standings coming into this weekend. North Shore, as we mentioned, won at Baytown Sterling last night. And that was a shutout victory for the Mustangs. So they're at 3-0 now in the district, 7-0 overall. And LaPorte trying to keep pace with them, as well as Deer Park trying to drop LaPorte down into a three-way tie.
And that shows you the importance of this ball game here tonight.
First and 10 from the 25. Here's a pitch back to Whiteley, and he carries it out across the 25 to about the 28, where he's upended after about a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7. Let's give him 4, actually. Call it 2nd and 6.
Of course, Whiteley had that big kickoff return at the end of the first half that at first thought went for a touchdown, but was called back because of a penalty. But LaPorte was able to capitalize nonetheless right before the break with a touchdown for the halftime tie.
Jonathan Lewis lined up as the H-back on the left side. Pitch back to Whiteley instead, and they get it out across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. That's going to be a 5-yard gain. It'll be a yard shy of the sticks, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, Tristan Guerrero with the big hit that time to stop him, keep him from making the first down. 1 yard away, so another big play in this ball game for LaPorte.
Jordan Jackson comes to the sideline, gets the play called straight from his coaches, and brings him to the line of scrimmage now. He'll go under center. They stack it up at the line of scrimmage and pitch it back to Whiteley. He follows a block on the right side, and he'll have the first down out across the 35 to the 37. Just power football that time, and he gets the first down.
Yeah, both of these coaches showing tremendous patience, tremendous confidence in their running games. Because again, it's all about time of possession, keeping the other team off the field, and you want to try to keep the change rolling, pick up first downs, and keep the clock going.
They reset the clock, and it's underway as they've moved the change. 1st and 10 at the 37. Whiteley slides off to the left side. Motion from Lewis this time. Give it to him on the jet sweep. He looks for a block. Nothing there. He's stretched out, and he's going to be stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. They may give him back to the 37. It looks like they will. That'll be no gain, but good defense by Deer Park that time.
Yeah, good pursuit down the line of scrimmage by the entire front 7, stretching that play out. Jonathan Lewis had no holes to cut up in between. He'll get dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Tristan Guerra was there along with Eric Benavides. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Single back, and from the wing formation they give it, and this is Grant, the sophomore, out to the 40, and they'll give him the 41. 4-yard gain on 2nd and 10. It'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Now, one of the keys to this ball game was which one of these ball clubs would win the interior. Normally in the history of this battle, the team that's been dominant up front has won the ball game. Tonight, both interior linemen, offensively and defensively on both sides of the ball, have pretty much battled to a draw.
3rd and 6.
And that's why we're so close on the scoreboard, 16-13. Here as we wind down to the final 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Play clock winding down.
Swing a pass out. Whiteley makes a catch, gets the corner, up across the 45, 50, and into Deer Park territory, out of bounds at the 49-yard line with a first down.
Yeah, a little 10-yard swing pass out to Whiteley. As he goes in motion out of the backfield, just a quick little pitch and catch. Runs to the pylon, picks up the first down.
Bumped out over there by John Lopez for Deer Park, but not before he moves the chains again. Deer Park.
Whiteley's numbers on the season, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Fake the handoff, swing it out to Grant. He makes the catch. He will be stacked up, though, nicely defensed that time by Deer Park, but a late flag comes in, and let's see what this is about. This was away from the play, too. I think this is going to be a post-possession or a post-play foul. And it's going to go against the Deer.
Well, we saw a couple of those against LaPorte in the first half. Now a big penalty here against Deer Park. This will move it down deep into Deer territory.
And I think that was against Tristan Guerra, the defensive lineman who was tangled up with one of the O-linemen for LaPorte. And Coach Massey called him to the sideline and was having an animated discussion with him. Well, there wasn't much discussion. It was a monologue. Here's a handoff up the middle.
Probably wasn't much animation either.
Yeah.
Probably more of the
Guerra was standing very still.
Of the PG-17 variety.
That's right. Whiteley on the carry that time, tried to dive forward for a couple of yards, and he gets it down to the 31-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Bring him back to the line again. 2 receivers out to the short side. That's the left side. Jackson wants to throw. Now he's got to dump it off for Mark. Javi Mark makes the catch on the little shovel pass. And the ball is on the floor. Let's see. It's a fumble recovered by Deer Park.
Wow.
Yeah, no question about that. It happened right here in front of me. He was just trying too hard to get half an extra yard there at the end, and it just flat out popped out.
Yeah, and you see Mark, that was his first reception of the ball game, trying to make something happen. Good job by Jackson just to get it to him. But you see the replay here. He's tangled up in a big mess of deer down at the 30-yard line, and apparently just got stripped away there at the last moment. So a turnover from LaPorte will thwart their drive, and the Deer will go the other way with a 3-point lead as we're under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Means brings him back out. Option play to the left. Pitch it back. Kano turns the corner, has a block, and he's out across the 40, 43, 44. Now give him the 45, and that's a 1st down.
You saw that option pitch just kind of float in the air, almost got taken by the wind, but Kano catches it in stride, picks up a big gainer, and a 1st down to the 45.
Timeout on the field. We'll take the break on an LSN Football Friday.
Banking, but better. Shell Federal Credit Union. Perfect credit not required. Shell Federal Credit Union. No matter where you work or live in Harris County, you're welcome here with full service banking. More for you at Shell FCU. Banking, but better. Shell Federal Credit Union.
Back at Bulldog Stadium. Cool and breezy Friday night this has turned into, and Deer Park with possession of the football. Handoff goes right side. Kano turns the corner. Flag in behind the play. He will get across midfield, out of bounds inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That's about a 12-yard gain, but I believe it's going to come back on a hold.
It is going to come back on a hold. We'll see if we can pick it up here. Could be right there. Minimal. Oh, there it is right there at the top, at the left part of the screen. They were holding Hutchinson. Looks like the outside receiver, so that's going to bring it back. Good call by the officials.
Guys, going back to that last play, Scott was the player that got injured, and it looks like he just has a cramp in his right leg. I'm sure he'll be back in a few plays.
Yeah, Scott has been all over the field tonight, both offensively and defensively for LaPorte. He's a big cog in their machine. They cannot afford to lose him.
I think he's the cog.
Means on the stretch, hands it off to Kano, and he is tripped up in the backfield. Good job that time of penetration by Trevor Nelson.
Yeah, Trevor Nelson has had a big ball game as well. You'll watch him coming up from the right outside linebacker position. He fends off the block of 76, and watch him just dive and make a one-arm tackle. Great open field tackle by Nelson. Drops him for a loss back to the 42.
And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. And the only score, a field goal by Deer Park, 16-13 on an LSN Football Friday.
Nestled in the comfort of the Texas Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove why the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas. Uniquely you.
Fourth quarter underway here at Bulldog Stadium. Let's show you the play that starts the fourth quarter as we come back to live action here. Little waggle out to the right side by Means, and he completes the pass to Rutherford, who's been his favorite target tonight.
Yeah, good little play action that time. They had a 2nd and 13 they were staring at.
Scott was, sorry about that, Scott was just running up and down the sidelines, and he's ready to come back in, so that's good news for LaPorte.
He'll wait at least one more play, hand off to Kano, and he gets it inside the 45 down to about the 43. Yard on the pickup, and Jose Scott's looking over at the coach. Can I go back in? And they say, yes, you can.
Let me think about that for a second. Yes, please.
So he heads back to his outside linebacker spot, and Deer Park brings it back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to say he was stopped at the 44, so no gain on that last carry for Kano. And fake the handoff to him. Here's Means on the keeper. Avoids the first tackler, hit at the 40-yard line, ridden out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain.
I'm not sure if that was designed or if Kano just outran the handoff. Let's take a look here. He was trying to get it to him. Couldn't get it there, and he just used Kano as a lead blocker. And Means able to pick up a short 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, a lot of teams actually have that in the game plan, but here in this situation, I don't think the quarterback is a true runner, so he definitely would rather hand it off in that case.
Big 3rd down play to come on this possession, and the LaPorte defense is urging their fans on the near side to give them a little vocal support. 3rd down, back to pass, Means still looking, throws and tipped away, incomplete, and I think that was Jose Scott who got a hand on that.
Yes, it was Scott with the deflection, so it'll be 4th down, and the Deer will have to punt it away. So good defensive stand that time by LaPorte. You see them come on the blitz. It's picked up well by Deer Park. With good coverage in the secondary as Scott deflects it away. Whiteley will go back around his own 10-yard line to receive this punt.
And remember last time somebody punted from on this side of the football field, they could not pin him inside the 20. Let's see if they can do it this time.
Good snap back this time, and the kick is away. Whiteley gonna take it on the run, no fair catch. And he is hit, angled toward the sideline to help out the pursuit by Deer Park, and they get him out of bounds at the 15.
Now LaPorte goes into this breeze that is picked up down here in the 4th quarter. As they're 85 yards away from pay dirt as they trail it by 3. Jay, what's the wind conditions down there on the field?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What's the wind conditions like down there on the field?
You know, it's not bad at all.
Is it like a day in Hawaii or what?
Yeah, you know, I see the flags moving up there, but down here on the field level, the wind is not a factor at all.
Okay.
Jackson under center, going to pitch back. Whiteley looks for a block, turns it back, opposite side. He's going to try and break an arm tackle. He cannot. Good job to hang on that time by Robert Sandoval, but still a 3-yard gain for Whiteley.
Well, like Sandoval hanging on for dear life, or was that Vega? I think it was actually
it was
Vega, 22.
You're right. Sandoval in the vicinity, but Vega brought him down.
And if you watch over here, as the offensive coordinator is giving the play to the quarterback there, the corner number 4 Lopez is right in his ear, and technically he could do that because the coaches are on the football field. See if they do that again.
Now we got a timeout called. LaPorte, a little confusion as it came to the line of scrimmage, and so stops the clock with 8:46 to go. 16-13 Deer Park on an LSN Football Friday.
Busy in here.
Yeah. Progressive Mobile is really catching on. People can do it all. Get a close, buy, and manage their policies. It's great.
Well, what's with the music? Dude, getting a car insurance quote, I'll let it go to voicemail. Putting it on vibrate.
Middle pass.
Our giant store on your little phone. That's Progressive Mobile.
Second down and 7 as we come back here with 8:46 to go in the fourth quarter. LaPorte trailing by 3, but with the football trying to mount a drive here.
During that timeout, the officials was having a little conversation with Lopez about that. Whoa!
And there's a pass intended for Scott, who's back out there on offense. Into double coverage and incomplete.
Jay mentioned Lopez kind of listening in on the play call. Referee was having a little conversation with him during that timeout.
Yeah, you know, and he was telling him not to do it, but if the offensive coaches are sitting here on the field, you know, technically Lopez can do it. I don't understand. He can't tell him he can't.
Well, he did. He told him he can't.
Well, that's his bad. He should not have told him that.
Big third down play here for LaPorte. 3rd and 7, and the work from the shotgun. Jackson's gonna throw, launches it downfield and overthrows his intended receiver. Looked like he was looking for Caleb Martin, or check it, that's Vic Holmes, number 1 for LaPorte.
That was one of those plays you kind of hope for a wing on a prayer, and Jackson just kind of threw this one up, and that one had no chance at all. Great coverage downfield by Deer Park.
Didn't look like the wind held that up at all. In fact, he overthrew it by about 5 yards. And a punting situation. And almost a block. Somebody actually may have gotten a hand on it. It's angled off, and it's going to go out of bounds inside the 40. Well, they'll spot it right at the 39-yard line, and Deer Park gets a big break and great starting field position.
Yeah, Medina with the rugby-style punt that time nearly got it blocked, and that's a terrible kick by Medina. So now LaPorte trailing by 3, 8:26 to go in the ball game, and they have the Deer in great field position just inside the 40. So this is a big, big defensive stand here for LaPorte. They cannot afford to give up a touchdown in this situation.
Means brings him to the line. Pistol formation, handed to Kano. Turns it to the outside, and he's going to be ridden out of bounds near the 35-yard line. That's going to be a 4-yard gain. Looked like he was stretched out, but he turned it into a gain.
Yeah, Jose Scott once again pushes him out of bounds, and Scott holding his right side. May have a little rib injury. But he's playing his heart out tonight. He's definitely been the defensive MVP so far in this ball game for LaPorte.
Clock continues to roll, down under 8 minutes now. Option play coming to the near side, pitch it. Kano, he's going to be bumped out of bounds right around the line of scrimmage, which was a 35. No gain, and it's going to stop the clock. Now, I think the one thing if you're Deer Park, as much as moving the ball, you want to keep the clock rolling too right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You would hope that Kano could keep it in bounds on that play, but his momentum just took him out of bounds, and he had some help on that near sideline from John Nelson as well to make sure he went out of bounds.
So now the LaPorte defense going to try and amp things up for a big third down play here. Trailing by 3. Deer Park trying to keep this drive alive. Means to throw. Lobs it downfield. Has a receiver and overthrows him incomplete. Luna could not catch up to it. Hutchinson on the coverage.
Yeah, again, those guys have been battling all night long, Hutchinson and Eric Luna. Again, Means showing his big arm, throwing it out there for Luna, and Luna just could not get there. So now it's going to be 4th down, and as you mentioned, that kind of no man's land situation for Deer Park. They're going to take a timeout to think about it. I would go ahead, the way my defense is playing, I would go ahead and punt this football, make LaPorte go the length of the field. We'll have a decision when we come back.
Get the 20-piece McNuggets. What? That lovely girl that caught your eye? The 20-piece McNuggets are only $4.99 on the extra value menu. You offer to share them. A conversation begins.
That's pretty smart.
I've been around.
20-piece chicken McNuggets. Just $4.99. Only on McDonald's extra value menu. The simple joy of being extra smart.
Only scoring in the second half here at Bulldog Stadium has been a 30-yard field goal by Zane Gonzalez of Deer Park. They still hold that 3-point lead as they come out here for a big 4th down play. Pressure from Scott, a screen up the middle, and it's going to be dropped by Luna. Trying to set up the middle screen, and it's going to wind up a turnover on downs, giving it back to LaPorte.
Well, Scott coming through, putting the pressure on Means. As we'll watch Scott come from the top of the screen, Means just dumps it off. And unfortunately for him, the receiver could not make the reception. So now LaPorte will have good field position, trailing by 3, 7:28 to go in this ball game. Jordan Jackson will lead them back onto the field.
Justin King, the center, over the football. Jackson right in behind him. Going to take the snap from under center. Pitch back to Whiteley. Has a block, has a lane, out across midfield. 40, bumped out of bounds inside the 40 at the 36-yard line.
29 yards on the run by Whiteley. Watch the left side of this line. You see the kick-out block right there. You see King, the center, with a good block. And then Whiteley down the sideline. Finally gets knocked out near the 35. And now this LaPorte crowd on their feet as they try to urge their Bulldogs on.
1st and 10 at the 36 of Deer Park. Pitch back to Whiteley again. He's going to run it to the right side. Stays on his feet inside the 25, loses his shoe, and he's going to be dropped at the 23-yard line with another 1st down.
Same play, just a little quick pitch. You see another good kick-out block, runs out of his shoe around the 25-yard line. They're going to give him forward progress down to the 23. So tack on another 3 yards to the carry, 13 yards on the run. Laporte on the move.
Whiteley looks on this drive like he's saying, give me the ball, I'm going to take this to the house.
Look who's at tailback now, Jose Scott.
They pitch it back to him, left side, and he turns it back inside. He's going to be wrapped up, though. Deer Park keying on him. He still manages to get about 3.
Michael Lagan, one of the linemen, has to come out. He has some equipment problems with his helmet. Checking into the ball game will be Jared Howard, the senior replacement.
Gain of 3 on the play.
Boy, Kevin Whiteley is just running like a man possessed right now. I would continue to feed him the rock down here.
I agree.
Got a breather by Jose Scott on that last play, but he's right back into the huddle for this second down play at the 21-yard line. Jackson pitches to him, runs to the right. This time he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Still falls forward for about 3 to the 17.
Good inside pressure that time. Bunker Scruggs in on the play to stop him for a minimal gain. So it's going to be a big third down now. Third and about, we'll call it 4.
They did a good job right there, but the coaching staff is just taking too long to get the play in.
17.
Play's already down. Clock is already down to 12 seconds and rolling. Game clock down near the 5.5-minute mark. Left in regulation time here.
Overload to the right.
Roll that way, and he's going to be sacked. Dropped in the backfield is Jordan Jackson, and it looks like Geringer got in there first.
Yeah, Geringer was in there. They had an overload to the right side as they tried to release 4 receivers into the pattern, and the running back 21, Whiteley, didn't know where to go or who to block, and he let his man in on the quarterback. So now it's going to be a long field goal attempt. It's going to be 41 yards from the right hash.
Eric Medina came up short on a 50-yarder this direction in the first half. This kick's got the leg, and it is no good.
Wide left.
It is no good. Wide to the left.
Wow.
So a great finish on that drive by the Deer Park defense, creating a sack and then setting up a 41-yard field goal attempt from Medina. He had the leg that time, but hooked it to the left, and it gives Deer Park the ball 1st and 10 at their own 24.
As Jay mentioned, the play clock was running down on that last down and that third down play by Laporte, and there were guys, particularly Whiteley, who didn't know what was going on, and he let his defender through. That caused the sack, which eventually led to the missed field goal attempt.
Handed off, Kano gonna get some tough yards up the middle, still on his feet, taken away by Scott, and he's gonna go to the house.
And Mr. Scott's legend continues. Wow.
Let's look at the replay here. Scott just takes the football away from Kano. A strip and score. Wow, grand theft larceny by Scott, and he takes it to the house.
And just like that, this game has turned on a dime, and Laporte now, with 4.5 minutes to go, can extend the lead to 4 points with the extra point attempt to come. Whiteley, the holder, up to the line, talking to his teammates. High snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Pressure came from the edge by Deer Park, but they did not get it, and the extra point is added. It's 20-16, 4:32 to go in this one. And this is going to be a nail-biter right to the finish on an LSM Football Friday.
First thing people people say after trying Raising Cane's premium, fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers, served with extra long crinkle-cut fries, made fresh daily cane sauce, and grilled Texas toast? They say, where have you been all my life? To which our chicken fingers don't reply because, well, chicken fingers can't talk. Raising Cane's, one love.
Jose Scott has made Bulldog Stadium his own personal playpen here tonight, and he steals the toy from Kano and takes it to the house. Big night by Scott as he has LaPorte on top, 20-16 with 4:32 to go in this ball game.
He and his Bulldog defensive teammates are ready to get back out onto that field now as the kickoff will come here with 4:32 to go. And LaPorte, for the first time tonight, has the lead nearly 44 minutes into this ball game. And here's a high short kick taken by one of the upbacks, and one of the linemen signals for a fair catch. That was Sandoval, who made it at the 38-yard line. So this will actually wind up being good starting field position for Deer Park. Plenty of time left.
You see the fans a little bit upset, a little extracurricular activity. Very heated rivalry between these two schools in this area. And they've renewed it as a district battle here tonight. First time since 2009. LaPorte won an overtime thriller last year in this ball game. Now Deer Park, for the first time tonight, find themselves on the other end of the scoreboard, trailing by 4.
Pistol formation as Means wants to throw on first down. Swings it out, has a receiver. It's complete, out across the 40. Run out of bounds over there is Eric Luna. He makes the catch, and it'll stop the clock after a 5-yard gain.
You know, it didn't even look like Means really threw that ball very hard. You know, if I'm thinking I'm the quarterback there, I want to fire it to my receiver to give him every single possible millisecond to make a move and get further down the field on a quick screen.
Mean has such a big arm.
There's a handoff. Kano runs it to the right, gets to the edge, and he's going to have a first down before he's hit over there. Took a big hit, but got the first down out at the 49-yard line, and that'll move the sticks.
We don't have the official numbers on Kano tonight, but he's carried the ball an awful lot. You wonder how much he has left in the tank late here in the fourth period.
Deer Park trailing for the first time in this ball game after the strip, steal, and return by Jose Scott has given LaPorte a 20-16 lead. 1st and 10 for Deer Park at the 49-yard line. Play fake, pressure from the outside, and it's going to be a sack.
It's Scott again. Great Scott. Means with the play action, Scott from the right side. They're going to have to put a running back or a tight end over there to help the offensive lineman. Big number 76. God bless him. That's Antonio Lopez. He cannot handle the speed of Scott.
8-yard loss on the sack, back to the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 18. They need to get to the LaPorte 41. Means to throw, has Rutherford, makes the catch, turns it up, gets out near midfield. Good pickup on 2nd and long. He gets about half the needed yardage, 9 yards on the pickup.
That was a great grab by Rutherford in traffic to come down with the football. Gets it back across the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down 9 for the Deer as we go under 3 minutes to go in the ball game. It's maybe 2-down territory once again. Deer Park with only 1 timeout remaining.
Well, you'd have to think trailing by 4 that it definitely is 4-down territory, because You don't know if you're going to get the football back as we roll down to the 2.5-minute mark, and here's a flag. A delay of game is going to be called, and that's going to make the hill a little bit bigger to climb.
Have to discuss what play you draw up here. Now it's going to be 3rd and 14. And you can't have Means standing in the pocket too long because of the defensive pressure from Laporte. It may have to be a quick hitter, a screen pass. Rutherford has been his go-to guy all night. He's not in on this play.
Means brings him up to the line. He wants to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Now he has to unload it well downfield. Luna over there, but out of bounds as Means was just trying to avoid the big hit. He did take a shot at the end of that play.
Wow, that was really close to being a personal foul there.
Now decision time on the far sideline. Again, 2:07 to go, but Deer Park with only one timeout. If they had all 3 timeouts, you could consider punting the football here, but with only one timeout, you're pretty much forced to go for it.
So the game may come down to this play.
Play clock already down to 10 seconds. They're still in the huddle. They're going to have to rush to get this play off.
5 seconds on the play clock. Means will get the snap off. Gets a pass away to Rutherford underneath, and he tries to turn it back inside, but nothing doing this time. And Laporte holds and will get the football back.
Again, Means forced to go to the short passing game. They rent a
holding penalty on the play called against Deer Park, but Laporte, of course, will decline that.
And they went to Rutherford on the underneath route, hoping he could break some tackles, but the Bulldogs were there in a pack to corral him. So now, LP, as the crowd chants, has it 1st and 10 at the Deer Park 44. They have 2 minutes to try to run out the clock. Deer Park can only stop it once.
Pitch back to Whiteley. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Good job that time. Coming up, I believe that was Benavidez who got in there and wrapped him up for a loss.
I think if you're Deer Park, you had to take that first time out right there. Put the pressure on Laporte to possibly make them think about throwing the football. Now that you don't take that time out on 1st down.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter 1st or 2nd because they're going to run the ball on 2nd down anyways regardless.
Yeah, but it does matter because you put the pressure on them on 4th down, and you could possibly force them to run out of bounds. A penalty, anything could happen to stop the clock on this play.
Jackson under center. Pitch back to Whiteley again. Has a lane. Left side, back to the middle of the field. And he's going to be wrapped up, and that should do it at the 22-yard line. They'll move the chains, and they won't be able to stop the clock enough for the Deer Park Deer.
Again, Whiteley, the quick pitch this time to the left. And you see his big offensive lineman downfield clearing away. He stays in the middle of the field, corrals the football, and that's going to just about do it. The Bulldogs will go into victory formation at this point.
Deer Park still has the 1 timeout, but it's basically a moot point right now as there are not enough snaps left for Deer Park to force them to turn the ball over. And Jackson hits the knee.
But play to the whistle, right? Tampa Bay style. Greg Schiano.
Absolutely.
Oh,
and you can understand that a little bit more at this level than you can at the NFL level, I think. You never know what you might be able to force here in a pressure situation. Down to the final 17 ticks of this ball game. And now
there is the Graciano play right there as they storm the defensive front. And like you said, Jay, you play to the whistle. You Play to the whistle. The officials just want to get out of here. They're rolling the clock.
The clock is rolled down to 0, and that looks like it's going to be it. As time has run out on the Deer Park Deer, they led for 43.5 minutes of this ball game, but the LaPorte Bulldogs come away with the victory in this one.
Wow finish. We'll see if Jay can catch up with number 20, Scott. So he was our player of the game. But a big celebration for the orange and white as they come out with another hard-fought victory here at Bulldog Stadium.
20-16, LaPorte will go to 3-0 in the district. They will keep pace with North Shore, who went to 3-0 last night with a win over Baytown Sterling. This one a little bit more meaningful for Deer Park tonight than maybe North Shore's big win over Baytown Sterling last night. The all-district wins are important and add up. But these two teams now are at 3-0 in the district. Port Arthur Memorial will be 1 game back, and now Deer Park, with the second loss in district, will drop 2 games back.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge comeback for LaPorte here this evening. Looked like they were on the brink of defeat, but Jose Scott literally snatches victory from the hands of defeat with that strip and score late in the 4th period to give his ball club the victory here tonight.
So we'll take a quick break.
Hey, guy, okay, here we go.
All right, here we go.
We got Jose Scott here. Jose, are you kidding me? What happened on that play right there where you snapped it from his hands?
He was on the field. Everybody was telling me, Jose, we need to play. Jose, we need to play. I told him I got him. I had the running back in the backfield. I was grabbing the jersey. He's about to pull away from him. I hit him with my left hand and grabbed it with my right hand and ran it back.
So you did that on purpose. You saw an opening and you took it.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable play. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you. That's a player right there.
And a player who made a big play to give his team the win tonight. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up on an LSN Football Friday.
Nestled in the comfort of the Texas Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove why the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas. Uniquely you.
LaPorte defends the home field tonight here at Bulldog Stadium, but just barely, Kenmore, 20-16, and it took a big play on a great defensive play by a great defensive player, Jose Scott, to bring them the victory.
Yeah, Jose Scott definitely our player of the game as he was able to pull a rabbit out of his hat in the final minutes late in that 4th quarter. He had to strip and score against Kano, took the ball away, scampered into the end zone, and that was the final difference in the margin here tonight as LaPorte survives Deer Park.
And you know, the way the defense played for both teams in the second half, they both stepped up. It was fitting that a defensive play decided this game because we were 13-13 at the half. The only score in the 3rd quarter was a 30-yard field goal for Deer Park, and both defenses other than that stepped it up here in the second half.
Yeah, neither offense able to break into the end zone in the second half, and as you mentioned, it was a defensive battle the entire night. So fitting that Scott would put the end on a tremendous game, and LaPorte will go home victors once again here this evening.
They go to 3-0 in the district, 6-1 overall on the season, and they will take away a 20-16 win tonight. Next week, we'll move over to District 17-5A at the Berry Center in Cypress as the Cy-Fair Bobcats take on the Cypress Ranch Mustangs. But as we send you home tonight, take a look again at the second half plays here from Bulldog Stadium. So long, everybody.